out there. Guess what? It's Sunday. If you've been following it, your sandbag routine, you've managed to make it through week 1, the basics. If you're not ready to move on to week 2, you feel like you still need to work with what you have, that's fine. For those that are ready to come on board for week 2, your sandbag weight, I do everything in percentages. So it's roughly 20% of what your body weight is. If you're not ready for that and you need to break it down a little bit, that's fine. I am 130, so my sandbag is 26 pounds. Other than that, it was not clear last week. It was a couple of made mentions. The entire workout is one workout. So session 1, 2, and 3 are to be done. It should be roughly about a half an hour. And for those that didn't see it, I have a stretching video up, and I do those stretches twice a day sometimes, just because I like to be able to move, and well, with this cold New England weather, it sucks. I always start my workouts with some form of cardio. Usually I'm staying, between 130 and 150 in my heart range, that optimal fat burny type section, but more or less just to really get the body moving, get blood moving. And if I'm going to be doing something heavy like this, especially for viewers like you guys, I would say probably only like 15 or 20 minutes. You're not really looking to burn fat, you're looking to warm up the body, because if you do the sandbag workout correctly, this is a good percentage of cardio as well. So without further ado, let's get our sandbags. I already have mine, and I'm evil. So this is 26 pounds. Session 1, you're going to be working with 4 big major muscle groups, and this is what I call building your foundation. You've gotten to know your sandbags, the basic movements of it with a nice light weight. So here is where it starts. Your first exercise is going to be a bear hug squat. Sounds pretty simple. Hold on to your sandbag. Love your sandbag. Oh. And then it's a squat. So hips or feet are shoulder width distance apart. Nice solid core, butt tucked in so that everything is engaged, and then it's just 10 down. So it's 1, and it's okay if you can't get all the way down. If you can, you can only go here before you start to lean forward, then you stop here. Good form, like I said before, is everything. As you come up, squeeze those glutes. Really feel that tension in your buttocks. Girls, make that peach shape. I don't have it, flat back, but whatever. So then it's just 10 of those. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out as you come up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. What you'll come on to next is what we call a Roman deadlift. Sandbag in front of you. Again, feet shoulder width distance apart. And you're going to have what they call a social knee. I don't have social knees. A soft knee, where it's not completely stiff-legged. You have a little bit of bend to it. And when you come down, again, activating that core, this way you're not lifting with your back. You're going to come down, and grab your sandbag, a little bit, booty out, and then it's just nice straight back, tight core, and lift. Same thing. 2, 3. Do not round that back. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And what we just did was work those glutes, we work hamstrings, and basically all of these are going to work full body anyway. So from there, this one should be fairly familiar all the way down for your floor press. So I like to make sure that the sand is at least a little bit balanced. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. And we did floor presses last week. So scoot your boot onto your back, and then easier said than done. That's the idea behind the sandbag, is it's unstable though. So, and then it's just lift, almost like you're doing a bench press, but without all of that equipment. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, as I've said before, always make sure that your core is engaged when you do these things, because if you leave everything just kind of floppy, it'll start to wear on the lower back, which we already have enough problems on. I'm sure I'm not the only one out there. So, and then from there, it's an overhead press. Now, I realize you're like, wait, we did those last week. Yes. This is more weight. So, same thing, if you remember all of the cues from last week, it goes up overhead, which I don't think you can see me at the moment, but nice straight line. You don't want to be poofed out. You don't want to be too far in. It's a nice straight line. Puts everything into alignment so that you're not putting unnecessary pressure on everything or anything. And then it's just come down. I put a little bend in my knee just because it feels good. But my core is still activated. My back is not harboring all of the weight. And then it's 2, 3, 4, 5. Do not let those elbows go out. 6, 7, 8. Your triceps should really feel this. 9 and 10. Try not to do that though too often, because if that inner bag blows up, man, it is a mess. Anyway, it's 3 rounds of those. Form is ideal, but you also kind of want to pick it up a little bit. If you're not comfortable with that yet, again, form, cues, core, have at. All right, session 1 done. I'm sure by now your shoulders hate me. Your legs probably not all that impressed with me. It's cool. You can call me nasty names. I can't hear it. And it's better than when the clients do it to me face to face. So, session 2, same concept, 20%. I'm gonna do 3 rounds, and we're gonna kind of put everything together in one full body movement. So, if you remember last week, we did something called cleans, which was this. Okay, so it's a relatively simple thing. We also did basic deadlifts, and we just did shoulder presses. I'm really sorry about that, but shoulders don't build themselves. So, first exercise is what we call a floor to overhead press. So we lift like we're doing a deadlift, nice strong core. I'll do this sideways so you can see, booty out, little bend in the knees, strong core. We're gonna lift, we're gonna do that, and then it's up. 1, 2. Now you'll see the CrossFitters do this, where they will jump. I see no reason for this action. I'm sure that there's a CrossFitter out there who will argue the logistics behind it. And that's great for them. It's not my bag. What was that, 7? I don't know. 8. 9. 10. So that kind of puts everything together, and your heart rate should be up. Again, we're back to that whole, if you do it right, it's a cardio workout. Next is going to be single leg deadlifts. because we're working mostly full body, but we want to kind of stabilize our muscles and core, because what you'll find is that so many of us with the back problems is because this just isn't as strong as we think it can be. And I myself have figured out just this winter, after 20 years, how much my core really can take so much more. So believe me when I say core, core, core for lower back pain. So single leg deadlifts sounds pretty simple, and it is. 1 foot on the ground. If you're not ready for a sandbag and you just want to do it without any weight the first couple of times around, that's fine, because you don't want to be falling about. And all it is it's just, it's this, and then it's this, up. But what you'll find is that because your feet are out, nice foot out there, your core is engaged, so it's only one leg lifting up. And you're going to do 10 on each side. I'm not going to bore you by doing 10 on each side, so I will just count 1 for 1. But I don't do these terribly fast because I'm still working on my stabilizer muscles around my hip, because I would like to run again this year. So, but the action is still there. You've engaged the core, you're utilizing your glutes, you're activating your hamstrings, your calf muscles because of balance, and your shoulders get a bit of a break because they've just gone through hell and back. And again, I'm not always the most stable on my feet, so I don't expect you to be either. I am by no means perfect. So that's that. I'll do more later. For the last section of this, you get to sit down. I know, sounds like a break. It's not. Bag goes on one side. Feet can either be on the ground, or if you're feeling super balancy, you can do like a yoga balancy thing. I'm not that cool. So, and all you're gonna do is you're gonna turn, twisting motion again. Remember, activating all the muscles we would use in a normal day. Make sure your core is activated, and all you're gonna do is you're gonna lift and you're gonna turn. Lift and turn. And you'll do that just like we did with the up and overheads. That's 1. So then it's lift, 2, 3, lift, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You hear me? I always put the bag down because it unactivates it and then reactivates your core muscles. When you're doing certain core muscle workouts, yeah, you want to keep everything activated. But for this particular one, because you're lift and then release, lift and then release, you're really pushing the blood to the muscles, and you're getting a mind to muscle connection, which is huge, because if you can't feel the muscle moving, how do you know you're really working it? That's a lot of the reason you'll see me, I'll like touch a glute, make sure I'm hitting the hamstring, you know, I can see the quads. It's that mind to muscle connection that really makes it worth it. So in any case, there's your exercises. That's session 2. Same thing as before, 3 rounds. You know, make sure your form is where it should be, and we'll see you at the next round. Hola. All right, so session 3. This is an introductory little section to endurance. Now, I don't have a lot of space here, but everybody's got a hallway somewhere. You don't need a whole lot of distance, just, you know, I don't know, about 50 feet or so, maybe 100 if you've got it. What you're gonna do with this one is, this isn't for rounds, this is 10 minutes of active endurance. It's gonna be what they call sandbag drags, and then 10 burpees. And if you need to, you can take a break. If not, jump right back into it. So without further ado, if you don't know already, you're gonna be dragging your sandbag. This is why I wanted you to get to know it. It's back to the basics. Be friends with your sandbag, because you're gonna have to help it along. It has no legs. All right, so the best way to do this is you get down and you kind of got like a crouch position, because you're curling your toes. If you need to, you can start on your knees, but the best way to do it is like this. Because what you're doing is you're activating all in through here, plus you're activating those glutes, all those muscles we just worked so hard. So this is your stance. So your stance is right next to your sandbag. Hello, sandbag. And then it's take one step forward, come up, drag that up, put the hand down, and then repeat. So try that again from a better angle, because this one's weird, but it's a whole body workout. And when you got the distance, like when you really have a distance that you can go, it's an amazing workout, all on its own. So again, you have your stance, you take the right hand, because sandbag is on the left. You go forward, you step forward, grab that sandbag from wherever you feel comfortable, and give that a hum. Come up, bring that leg up, and do it again. And pull. Come up, everything up, and you're gonna repeat it on both sides. I would aim for 5 on each side. And then from there, as if that didn't suck already, believe me, the end result is worth it. Burpees. If you're a Spartan, you know what a burpee is. If you don't, it's awful, but it's great. Stand up tall, you come down, hands go on the mats, kick out. You can do a super burpee and do a push-up if you want. I don't. And then you activate that core, you kick those knees back in, you come up, little jump, and do it again. 10 of those. So, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I, unfortunately, am well versed in those. So, and even I'm a little out of breath. So, that's your session 3. That's a little intro into endurance. What you'll see is some of this later on. Right now, we're just kind of building your foundation. So, hoorah. Hopefully we'll see you next week. If not, thanks for joining me. Hit the subscribe button. I'm trying my best. And as you can see, it's just me in a 20 by 20 square trying to step out on my own. So thank you for joining me.